So now we're going to move on to the points. There are three types of points you need to find in all of polynomial to sketch it. So the first type is called y-intercept. This is the part everyone loves. And you have the second type, x-intercept. And you have the third type, stationary point, which is turning points, but more than turning points. So how do you find y-intercepts? Whenever you have to find y-intercept, always make x equal to 0. So from the previous example we have, let's do a cubic. Y equals x minus 1 cubed plus 2. So y-intercept is when x equal to 0, so now you sub x in. You sub 0 in for x, so you have 0 take away 1 cubed plus 2. Y equals to, this becomes negative 1 plus 2. Y equals to 1. X-intercepts. X-intercepts is when you make y equal to 0. For the same example, x minus 1 cubed plus 2, make y equal to 0 and cubed plus 2, move 2 to the other side, negative 2, negative cube root 2, take away 1, x equal to 1 take away cube root 2. And for x-intercepts, there are something called factorizing. So it's basically when you have a quadratic or a cubic, you have more than one single turning point. 1, 2, x-intercepts. 3, 1, 2. This is called factorizing. So you can have y equals x squared take away x minus 6. The way to factorize this is the cross method. So you have this equal to 1, this is negative 6. So we're basically trying to find factors within 1 and negative 6 to make up a negative 1. So you have 1 and 1, and here you can have negative 3 and 2, or you can have 1, 1, negative 2 and 3. So is 2 times negative 3 makes a negative 6, or negative 2 times 3 makes negative 6. So now we have both of them. Write them down and cross time it. So when you have 1 times negative 3, you have negative 3 here. When you have 1 and 2, 1 times 2, you have 2 here, which gives you 2 take away 3 equals to negative 1. It's exactly what we wanted. Let's try this one. So we have 3 and negative 2 equals to 1. So it's not what we wanted, so this one is not right. So the factors are 2 and negative 3. So when you have them, x plus 2 times x minus 3 equals to y. This helps you to find the x-intercept, so now you make y equal to 0. And then you can use the null factor law, x equal to -2 and 3. Remember, if it's in brackets, it's always the opposite sign. Or here you could also have like numbers that are more than 1. Maybe we can have y equals 2x squared, take away x, take away 6. And to factorize this, we can have 2, -2, 3, and 1. And now we have -4 plus 3. It also gives you -1. So now for this equation, the factors are x take away 4 and x plus 3 equal to 0. After cross method, if it doesn't work or it doesn't have a whole number for its, or it doesn't have the exact factors for the equation, you go to the turning point form. And now I'm going to teach you the turning point. So for quadratics, to find turning point, for the same example, we have y equals x squared, take away x, take away 6. Or make it easier, like that. So now we have x squared minus 2x minus 6. So now we halve this number and square it. So leave that as the same. Now we have plus and minus. So we halve this number and square it. So half of -2 is -1, and squaring it, it becomes 1. Half of -2 and square it, it becomes 1. So plus 1 and minus 1. So plus 1 and minus 1 is just not losing the balance on both sides. So now you have y equals x. So this is, I think I've explained to most of you, this is what's called a perfect square. So now you have x minus 1 squared, take away 7. So a perfect square is basically x plus a squared equals x squared plus 2ax plus a squared. We want the turning point. So we have to find the perfect square to make up the turning point. And now we have the turning point is, x equal to 1, y equals to -7. The turning point is 1, -7. So if you have something like this and you couldn't work out what the x-intercepts are with cross methods like this one, and when you have the turning point form, so now you put the 7 in. First, split it up into 2 brackets and you put -7 in both of them. So you have x minus 1 plus √7, and you have x minus 1 take away √7. And now you have the 2 turning points, which is x equals 1 take away √7 and 1 plus √7. And their y values are all 0. So this is how to do x-intercepts and y-intercepts and the turning point, only up to quadratics.